no. We just gonna deal with the phone here.
Focus.
On my landline.
Okay, focus.
Okay, I'm gonna make this very short. I might go into a lot of detail. So April Steele was telling me, you're not gonna get it done.
No,
So he called me back and he told me when it would be disconnected. So I asked him a question.
You did.
Where are you located?
You did ask him.
And he never told me.
Okay.
He said the weather, he tried to ask me about the weather here. So I told him how the weather was and so forth. I said, well, where are you located? And he never told me that. I could never get it. But the next morning, as he said,
they did that.
My phone was disconnected.
I have to give it to them.
Although I had a skeptic in the background that made me start doubting, which don't always have faith, and they got the job done. Now, I don't know what country I called or what call center I called. I don't know, but it was nothing familiar to me. And the same static, talking, laughing in the background. He wasn't laughing. He was rather pleasant, as much as he could understand. But in the background, as April aforementioned, I have never heard that much talking in an office, call center, or any place I ever called. God be with him.
It just reminds me of something I had seen years ago on PBS. And it showed, it might have been Frontline or something like that, or something along those lines, but maybe not Frontline. And they were showing how companies were outsourcing people in other countries, and it was specifically about call centers. So that's why the point of reference that I had, based on when Miss Mary first experienced it, and she was describing what she experienced in the phone call. What was it giving? It was giving call center. And then when I recently had the whole thing with their groundbreaking access for AT&T to help people with assistance, because the affordable the ACP is not accepting. They're not accepting any more applicants, because I'm going to theorize probably about the migrants and them getting it, but they don't have any phones and they don't have no computers. That's what they said on the news, but I find it interesting. So anyway, and the actual program is ending allegedly. I'm starting to be very skeptical about that too. But anyway, access to AT&T for AT&T, and then the same scenario. I had 2 calls. One that was what happened, and then the follow-up, 3. The supervisor was the third one. I started thinking, these are call centers. But when I asked the young man, not the first one, when he needed more information, he could not answer any of my questions.
They don't.
It all ends with you not getting any answers.
But they want to ask you all kind of detail. So that's why I'm not surprised. I'm pretty surprised though that they got this thing now with this breach, and they got all of your information from AT&T. How did they get this information when the people you talk to on the phone cannot give you anything? You ask them. They ask, even the one that got me, was they kept asking me over and over again my telephone number. Don't you have the information in front of you?
And they'll tell you, which I think that's just what they're doing. They're telling you, let me pull up your account. They're not saying it that clear.
Right.
Let me pull up your account. Thank you for waiting. Thank you.
Do you have a password or code?
Right.
No, for a landline, I didn't need one. But they will not. Well, we can't help you. This is FBI office. I'm exaggerating.
I know.
If you don't have this password.
I actually don't think Miss Mary is what she just said, because I also heard about Google. Evidently, feds are watching and asking for people's information that are watching certain videos on YouTube. And they want, it sounds eerily the same thing, They want to know all this information that allegedly got breached from AT&T, which is your personal